All right, am I live? Not seeing a stream just yet. Oh. Maybe. Okay. Looks like I am potentially live. I can't hear anything. Let me take a look, see if Twitch chat is going. One second, I'm sorry. Having some weird difficulties here. Seems like stream can never start on time. Twitch is asking me for login codes.
Dying on site, and Tex needs to get on towards A as fast as possible with dying on site, and Tex needs to get on towards A as fast as possible with
Let's see. Have one viewer right now, and that is me. But I know it's working at least. Okay, oh, I've got people popping up in the chat now. I know it's working. Thank you. And hello to Voracious Dev. Go ahead and set my category. So as I have said before, I am really happy to be bringing back Beer and Pixels. Tonight I am going to be drawing the logo of this McChoof beer for both the Beer and Pixels stream and the Gnome of the Day. I've started a project to draw 365 gnomes this year, post one each day. Mostly keeping those to, posting them the day that I draw them. May have to bank some in advance of busy work weeks or trips, but trying to at least keep them all chronological, try to showcase how I can improve over this year and draw a bunch of gnomes. So tonight I saw this beer in the store and I was like, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I have been kind of busily, I'm going to open up a sprite here, making a palette for this. You can see that in the top left corner here. So that I'd be able to just draw on simple colors from this, not have to do all that while I stream. To get that ready to go, I actually did have to draw this really ugly take on it, just to see all of the parts that had unique colors to them. So I've got 2 shades of each color. I'm just gonna draw for an hour and hope that I can do a better version of this gnome than I did there over the next hour. I'd like to thank my sister-in-law, Olivia. Sent me this old Wacom tablet that she's no longer using. It has really helped with my figure drawing. I honestly rarely keep the lines that I drew with it intact very much, but the overall poses looks so much more natural to start out that for the non-pixel detail level, it is just an absolute game changer for me. And I'm really excited about that. All right, so I am going to get my reference pulled up in this window here, and I'm going to just get started. Don't have too long to draw tonight. Versus Devot says, I have a Wacom tablet I would love to start using. Oh, I highly recommend it. It has gotten me way more interested in digital art and just maintaining that practice. I'm excited to maybe try doing some regular drawing with it even now that I have that. So yeah, again, I'm going to be looking at this, but unless you want to Google McChoof beer, you probably won't have the reference in front of you the whole time. So one more time, and then I am going to start picking out some shapes here. First, I'll need to get his pose. That's going to be pretty tricky. I am going to need to cheat and give myself one more color here than is currently in my palette, but it's literally just black. I'm just going to go with black outlines tonight. I normally like to have colored outlines, or at least something a little bit less jarring, but this is more of a speed draw, and I don't think I can afford to get too detailed with my outlines and add that many more colors to my palette. Adibabu says, is that bagpipes? Yes. So in researching this logo here, beer itself is really good, by the way. I discovered that McChoof, this little bagpipe playing gnome, is not their normal logo. They have a number of different logos, all of them with gnomes involved. I don't know. I think I can do too many of them, frankly, but I don't want to make that a whole series because they all have that same pose, same look, but most of them aren't playing the bagpipes. I think I've made things a little bit harder on myself by choosing the one that's playing the bagpipes, but that's going to be part of the fun. C. says, you should sell them your gnomes. I should not do that. In fact, I would prefer if they don't find out that I'm doing this stream, just because I don't know how litigious they may or may not be as a company. But I appreciate the flattery from my wife. All right, so I need to make sure I have the right size, or this is going to become really difficult. C. says, or model for their next gnome drawing. That is definitely a little bit closer to something I'd be comfortable with. They haven't really had the chance to draw real life gnomes before. Maybe they could learn a thing. Why is this not drawing? Something is going on. I think maybe my brush is messed up, but it's not registering the color. Something has gotten messed up to where it's only accepting right click. Drawing. That's not good. Oh, I think I understand what just happened there. It thought that I was trying to use the transparent layer. All right, figure out where I am on the page. So it looks like the top of my palette here is going to top of my little area needs to be the bagpipes. They only go a little bit above his head. So I should get the top of the cap just under the top here. I'm just going to get really broad shapes and fix them up later. So that's his hat. That's pretty close. That'll do. Ooh, he might be a little bit too far over for me to get the bagpipes in his mouth. I'll fix that in a second. There's his pointy nose. His lips. He has a beard that comes out to here. And yep, it's already too close in. This is all wrong. I'm just going to start over, frankly. And that is what I love about digital art. I can make a monstrosity with that. And it doesn't count. I don't have to erase it. So let's try again. C10 asks, so this is with using the tablet? Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm not currently using the mouse. Off screen, I have the tablet and I'm drawing on it. All right, that's not good, but it gives me a sense of where things are. So now I can pull this in farther. I think I'm actually just drawing everything a bit too big is the real problem. Yeah, I'm changing this up. I'm going to draw the outlines after I have my color shapes, my color blocks down. And so this is going to also look a little bit wrong, but closer. I am going to set my brush to 2 pixels, so it is big enough to just color in like I have crayons on the page. And I'm going to make, first of all, a shape for his hat. Stick with a much smaller scale this time. And let's just do that kind of a sketchy shape. I think I'll do his beard next, because that's the thing another thing that's giving me trouble on the scale. So his beard kind of. Does this. How is that for? Sorry, I'm over here studying my reference really closely, trying to make sure that everything is to scale. I should have put him on a grid before I started this and then put a grid up myself as well. Well, it is not too late to do that. That's gonna, I think, save my entire life here. All right. So, like I said, here was my terrible palette reference. Let's just go ahead and make, I'm working on a 112 by 96 canvas. So, make another one. You guys are getting to watch me learn in real time. How do I scale that down and keep the aspect ratio? That's important. There's still some things I'm not quite sure how to do in Aseprite. Transform. What's it doing? 1 second. Oh, Voracious Dev says it's frequently Control or Command in other design apps. I'm going to try to Control click. Thank you. Okay, so Shift just moves that. No, clicking Control or Shift primarily makes it so that it... Okay. I'm sorry y'all are having to watch me troubleshoot this. That is not good streaming. I'm just going to Google it. I think the real answer apparently is just drag it carefully. There doesn't seem to be a function for that in any sprite that I can find. That is a frustrating thing for drawing software not to have. Okay, I think I preserved it pretty well though. There. And then mess it up at the last second. Okay. So my mission is going to be to keep these proportions, but make it look better at this size. Oh, Voracious Dev had one more thing I can try, but if it doesn't... Oh, it worked. It was Shift. Thank you. That saved my life. Now I don't have to wonder if I messed it up. Let's turn that grid on. Show grid. All right, and I have to do a quick study of this. So the hat is roughly one full space above the beard. The face takes up this much. Oh man, this is such an improvement. Okay, so I should need to start the cap in the second grid. All right, this doesn't have to be exact. I'm trying to draw him, not trace him, but make sure that I get the proportions nearly correct, and that looks pretty good to me. So next I want to get his beard, and that's going to take up most of that space. And next, his face fits in the rest of those. See some changes I'm going to have to make. That's okay. I want the beard to go farther back. And the hat to come a little more on top of it. I'll just scribble this in for now. All right, and I'm going to make another layer down and draw his body underneath this. This is going to be such a difficult pose. It looks really unnatural, but okay. So first I'll do his torso. To about squarish. 2 squares across, 2 squares down, and meets under the beard. Oh, that looks horrible. That looks so bad. What did I do wrong? Okay. Well, for starters, I'm doing a lot wrong. There's a debate going on in the chat about why he's bending over to play the bagpipes in the first place. C. says that he doesn't even know how to play the bagpipes and is just posing for Instagram, which I think is a good read. However, as you can all see, I don't really know how to draw, and I'm just posing for Twitch, so I can't judge him too harshly. Here's what I'm going to do. I am finding myself in a weird dilemma where I can draw this gnome from memory by looking at him. I could probably draw a gnome playing the bagpipes, but I don't think I can draw this gnome playing the bagpipes without several hours to mess around and get it wrong like this. So, I am opening up the floor. What kind of gnome am I drawing for the rest of this stream? Because it's not this guy. I have a suggestion to draw, I'm not even going to name names of who suggested this, because shame on you, to draw this same gnome in the same pose but pooping. I have a suggestion to draw a gnome doing the bend and snap from Legally Blonde. So here's the deal. I have half an hour left on this stream. I do have somewhere I need to be after this, and the time limitation was supposed to help. Sure hasn't. So, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to keep this palette. I do really enjoy these. I need to get rid of this background dithering because I'm going to be changing some things up. And the scale will not be correct anymore. And so the first thing, I'm seeing a suggestion for Hulk Gnome. Jamie H91 says the sexual tension of a gnome doing the bend and snap would be too powerful. I'm gonna level with y'all. It's been way too long since I have seen Legally Blonde. I don't even remember how to do the bend and snap, how to draw that. C-Tenon says it would be an end to this being a family stream. Okay. Here is my promise to you, my viewers. I am going to be drawing at a later time and day Elle from Legally Blonde holding a chihuahua as a gnome. Only the gnome is going to be about her size. Because she is really small because she's a gnome. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. I'm not doing that tonight. Adibabu says Picasso gnome, and I do really like that concept, like an abstract gnome. Voracious Dev says a gnome doing blue steel, and oh man, that is speaking to me. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm going with. While we're doing old movies. C-Tenon says Ross is going to use all of these. You're right. I actually had already planned to do a Picasso gnome at some point. I want to get a little bit more established with just doing some normal gnomes, getting some practice in with that before I start getting too experimental with it. But I want to do some gnomes in other artists' styles. Picasso is a big, obvious one that I need to do. Okay, so let's get a reference going. I'm going to paste this in another Sprite window so that I don't need to open up any more windows in the stream. And we're just going to do an up-close face study of a gnome. Sorry to this guy, I do need to draw him sometime, but not today. He's really difficult. So, this is Derek Zoolander doing blue steel. By the end of this stream, I will have drawn a gnome doing blue steel. So I need to get a good study of what makes this face work. I have dropped my pen. Here we go. My tablet pen. So Derek Zoolander at no point had a beard. I don't think they let male models have beards in the dark old days of 2001. That may complicate things a bit. So I know that I need to get the lips puckered and the jaw pointed out, the chin kind of pointed out a bit. The brow crinkle and the soulful puppy dog eyes. And if I can do all of that, oh, yeah, Voracious Dev says he did in Zoolander 2, which, first of all, that wasn't the dark old days of 2001. And second, Zoolander 2 didn't happen. It wasn't a movie that was made. I think that is something we can all agree on at Beer and Pixels, is that Zoolander 2 never happened. Yes, it was. It was awful. Okay, so I'm going to need a new palette. I don't think this one will serve my purposes, so you're all, I think, seeing a little bit too much behind the curtain on how this all works. But here's my palettes folder, and what should I use? I don't think anyone here is going to really understand what I'm doing unless they're a pixel artist themselves trying to judge what's going on with these palettes. I'm going to just go with an old standby. I've drawn a lot of these in the Invesiga 64 palette. I think I need a pretty big window. So let's increase the canvas size. 112 by 112, make it square. And first we're going to need a big gnome face. And we want it to be roughly Zoolander shaped, but it can't fill up the canvas like that because I need to put a pointy hat on its head. Okay, so first, handsome gnome. Just give myself a big, make some broad strokes. We can chisel them down later. Let's give him a big, powerful jaw. Normally, gnomes are kind of jolly. They don't tend to have powerful jaws because they spend all of their time eating cakes and drinking beer and not trying to look pretty for the camera. This one, like all male models, has to put more effort into his appearance than most gnomes. So a big thing in Zoolander is that Derek Zoolander is kind of an outcast in his family for how much he loves to male model. And he always puts male in front of it. He's a male model, he's not a normal model. I really wonder how Gnome Society would handle male modeling. By the end of the Gnome of the Day project, I'm hoping to have maybe some gnome characters of my own once I've spent some time in the world of gnomes. And this is a moment where I need to really think, would a gnome dad react as badly as Derek Zoolander's dad did to his modeling? I hope not. Okay, really study that drawing. That's not right. Something like that. There we go. That's our gnome Zoolander. Just go ahead and fill that in. And his chin is going to kind of go off the canvas a bit like that does. C10 says, what is this, a gnome for ants? Which, in addition to being a funny reference to the movie Zoolander, which everybody loves, is something that's kind of funny about pixel art. The small scale is just kind of difficult to work with. I feel like I'm always making drawings for ants. Okay, so let's make a gnome beard that perfectly follows the line of his chiseled jaw. That is working for me. I hope it's working for you. And I'm going to need to edit that to kind of disappear behind there. And let's put a pointy red cap on his face. Give him an ear. And go ahead and fill this in. Go ahead and I'll probably change the color of this, but need to make sure that I draw a nose. Get everything in the face in the right place here. Oh. Somebody in the chat who said this is going to be a handsome Squidward moment, because that was Adibabu. Yeah, this is the handsome Squidward of my gnomes. I love it. I would not trade it for the world. Get some puppy dog eyes on there. I gotta say, I have so much fun doing these streams, and the fact that I felt completely comfortable giving up on what I was drawing and pivoting to blue steel gnome is, it takes a lot of the pressure off. Oh, come on, I can do better at that mouth than that. the mouth is going to be the most important part of this. I probably can't just draw it with this huge brush. I'm going to need to use the furrowed brow. Yes, it does. Okay, I think that is all that I will be able, even the mouth I need to do with attention to detail, and the eyes need to be more exact than that. So I think I have reached the end of the usefulness of the tablet. And I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to drink number 2 here, which is, hold on, what is even the name of it? I'm not going to be able to remember the name of it. It's this crazy Czech liqueur. All right, and we've all looked at Ben Stiller's lovely face enough here. I'm going to go ahead and keep a reference on the other page, but I'm going to be switching back and forth less. So if you'd like to keep up with Blue Steel itself, you will need to pull it up on your own time, on your own computer, and you can come and tell me how badly I'm drawing Blue Steel. It is Bekarova. Thank you, C10. I'm drinking Bekarova. It has a weird taste to it, but I really love my weird tasting herbal liqueurs. So let's go ahead and redo these eyes. These aren't Blue Steel eyes. It's almost more of a perfect almond shape. So I might want to start even with a circle and contour around it. I'll make them pretty big because he's got kind of cartoony proportions to begin with. There we go. That's going to be more like what I want. And I'll do 2 of them. Make sure the eyes are level to one another. Beautiful. Give him some piercing blue eyes. Now that I've got my shapes down, I think I do need him to be a little bit smaller. this is a really big canvas. Let's just make him exactly half size. 56 by 56 isn't a normal sprite size, but it's what I've got. Yeah, that's going to be much easier to work with on the individual pixel level. Start by erasing some of this. Okay, so he needs the funky eyebrows. That's kind of a... I'll keep it at 2x for now and edit later. It's a little bit of a shape. Give it a few more tries. There we go. It's a little different on the eyebrow. All right, here's the moment of truth, y'all. We got to give this guy some lips. There's a bottom lip and a top lip. All right, sound off. Does this look like the blue steel lips? It's looking pretty close to me. All right, I think it's close enough that I'm going to try to do the line in the middle, and that might just... I'm hearing maybe more puckered and squeezed. I think that's it. I think that's blue steel. I've done the impossible. I've drawn a gnome as a male model. I think this could, when I have finished it, shake up both the pixel art and male modeling industries. Okay, so right now he has a chin strap and not a mustache. The next question is if he should have a mustache. Yeah, so I'll need to move his lips down a bit. Just select only the lips. That moved more than that. Okay. The lips did need to be moved down a little bit anyway. Let's add a mustache here. Now this guy has a more neatly trimmed beard than most of the gnomes I've drawn. Most of them, they have a beard that would be going all the way off screen right now. This guy, that's not his look. Gracious Dev says the darker line on the lips definitely did it. I am glad that my instincts were correct. Okay, so let's give him some nostrils. Clean up those eyebrows. You definitely keep these neatly plucked and looking orderly. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this grid. It's getting in the way of some of these pixels. That eyebrow now goes up a little too much. So the other needs to be pointed down. Let's just redo it. There we go. Okay. So there's like a little block here, and then it goes down and back up. Oh, Froyo just showed up. He's making noise down here. Say hi to Froyo, everybody. Okay, so I like this shape, and I think I need to just move it up exactly 1 pixel. So I am going to cheat a little. That's right. That is the look I want with the eyebrows, I think. That's coming together. What's left is I still need to shade this a little bit. Not quite as much because this is a stream drawing, but let's at least get, first of all, just an ear. Let's clean up the contour right there. Alright, so how do I want to approach this? Just make a little line there beneath the eyes. I think I do need to texture the beard a little bit. So I will just start by making a line around it. And this also lets me see some of the pixel level imperfections in the shape and smooth those out in the process. Just make some outlines. The top is outlined by the nose here. I don't really need to. That will all be covered by the outline on the top. Jamie H91 says, this gnome sponsored by Manscaped. Yeah. I wonder if I could get sponsors for future gnomes. That's kind of a dark future to imagine, actually. I don't really like that. Gnome of the Day isn't meant to be a corporate product. Gnome of the Day is for the people. I'm excited for you all to see the labor propaganda gnome that I'm going to be drawing for May Day next week. Metal Monkey is demanding that I make Pepsi Man gnome. I'll see, Metal Monkey. I'll see. This is, for something that's drawn all on one layer, less frustrating than I'd expect. Alright, so if I was not drawing this on stream, I would probably do some more shading on it. That's not the most exciting to watch. I think it looks pretty good for my purposes, but what I still need to do is do some facial lines to make the pose complete. So let's see. I'm probably just going to need to erase part of this. Make it still fit with the beard. Voracious Dev says those cheekbones will do it, and I do agree. I think I need, before I even attempt the the mouth pucker down there, I'll to even see if I need that. I need to give him sharp, drawn-on cheekbones. In roughly the same place as Ben Stiller's. Okay, so the one on the right, in my opinion, is just about perfect. So now I'm going to try to make the one on the left match it a little more. My wife in the Twitch chat says, I'm going to try to make Ross do my makeup because your contouring is great. Thanks, babe. So let's make this level over here with this. All right. I'm going to give it one more try. I love this so much. This turned out... This is not something I would have ever tried to draw. I do think I'm going to make all of my outlines one shade darker and try to do some shading. Try to give things exactly one more shade here. So let's see. I'm just going to make the rest of... I need to make sure I don't mess up the nose, but... Maybe not. Is that adding or taking away from the overall effect? definitely think the illusion of some dramatic lighting would go a ways for this piece. It may look like I'm just sticking pixels random places right now. There is a method to this madness. Alright, I need just a bit of shading inside the hat, and then I think he's ready to go, personally. He is ready for his catwalk. Do a little bit of touching up there. There we go. Oh, he needs pupils in his eyes. Duh. The eyes are the most intense part of blue steel, and so I do think I need to take a second and just make sure I do them right. Oh, man, I got my eyes different sizes. No wonder they look kind of funky. No. The kind of difficult part of pixel art is how different it looks zoomed in versus zoomed out. And this is one of those times that I'm really having to zoom in and out a lot to make sure it looks right. Yes. Yes, that's it. He's finished. I think he's finished. I might try just a bit more anti-aliasing on the cheekbones. Now he's finished. Beautiful. Just doing some inspections. Making sure he's actually finished. I'm gonna give the nose some attention. Somewhere along the line, his expression has started to look a little bit more smiley. Am I the only one who thinks that? Might be that I need to adjust the lips again. Yep, okay. The illusion of a weird little Mona Lisa smile on his face is gone. And I do need to put some eyeliner on the top of his eyes. And let's give this a background. He's done. I'm calling it. I said, nope. No, he was. I was right the first time. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. I am going to get this guy formatted correctly for Twitter and posted. This has been so much fun. I am really grateful for everybody showing up, helping me switch tasks. I'm gonna post them, and then I know a couple of y'all are waiting on me to start some Jackbox games in a minute here, so I'll be doing that soon. Thank you again, and good night.